breath cycle. You put the breath cycle. Breath cycle, say 3 seconds, something like that. And from the breath cycle, you define the aeration, inspiratory time and expiratory time of the mandatory breath, whether pressure or volume. And the rest of the cycle will be for the spontaneous pressure support. And the breath cycle, if the patient started synchronized with that, okay, we'll end God. If the patient did not start, it will start, and the cycle will wait for 90% of the time to deliver the breath. If the patient took his breath, it will deliver to be synchronized. If not, this needs some explanations on the waves, okay? But this is the cycling for the synchronized intermittent. Synchronized, how do we make it synchronized? This is a window for the breath cycle mandatory of the patient to be synchronized. They make a window. This present only in McKay servo. You look at this is the item breath cycle. The others they do not have. This is built in. That's why you do not know it. That's why when you put your data, it is blind. But in servo, which is an open for you, you define the inspiratory time, you define the expiratory time for the mandatory, and you know the delivery of your breath in it. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, my main question actually, do you use it in weaning patient off the ventilator, or you wouldn't care about it? When you decide to wean patient from the ventilator and to be extubated, do you use this technique of...
use it in what?
Do you use a technique of reducing the flow rate and increasing the window, the trigger window?
No. The trigger window, this is if you want to shift, to wean the patient from SIMV, what you do is to decrease the mandatory. To decrease the mandatory, see the patient how frequent the respiratory rate of the pressure support will be. And after that, shift from the SIMV to the pressure support to take you away for weaning. But we don't just, this is, now the SIMV, it's not a good one for weaning. But if you put the patient on the SIMV, and after that you feel that the patient is doing well, decrease the mandatory, the patient is taking a good number, not high respiratory rate from the pressure support, shift to the pressure support, and start handling the patient with pressure, one mode only, pressure support to CPAP, and then liberate your patient.
Okay, thank you.
Some ventilators, okay, especially out of the auto mode, okay, mandatory one, they are requesting during the volume controlled one, like Mindray, okay, and I think Drager also, to set up flow rate. Whether if the patient is awake and he is assisted in an assisted manner, okay, or whether it's SIMV. How will adjust the flow rate will depend on the patient, okay, his spontaneous flow effort, tolerability, all the waveform will help us. What is your opinion on this?
Excellent. As I had mentioned, volume controlled or volume assured control or pressure target volume control, when you put the word volume, you are stuck to 2 points. Fixed flow, with this fixed will be rectangular, and at the same time fixed at that volume. The effort of the patient has nothing. It is a wasted effort. That's why I don't like it. And since a long time, it's not a good mood to put the patient on ventilator, SIMV volume. At the same time, this is a volume, you have to escape from it. Except if the patient is paralyzed or heavy sedated and you want to do something. But pressure control, pressure support is a good one to handle for the pressure, for the time, And the flow and the volume will be determined by two: driving pressure of the machine and driving pressure of the patient. And you can see what is the problem for your patient. I can decrease gradually the driving pressure of the machine, but the patient is taking his breath, normal to the volume, normal respiratory rate. This is a wonderful patient. But if you are stuck to the volume, I think this is exhausting the patient, and finally you will not be able to wean the patient from the machine.
That's your advice, to be away from volume.
Usually we have a group of Alex Vent who give lectures and workshops. We stress on very important point. Please try to be away from the volume control. Volume control is hazardous and has a lot of problem, especially the volume trauma. But the other one, the pressure control, is not, and at the same time you can easily handle the patient.
But you have another problem, that pressure controlled or pressure support or whatever, this depends on the variability too much, suiting physiological excellent, okay, away from volume trauma, barotrauma, everything. But it's intensive monitoring. How you are overcoming this one? You are
intensive monitoring.
Yeah.
Simply, when you put your patient on the ventilator, don't leave the patient to go for something else. You have to adjust the patient. Sit down by the patient, or otherwise, oh, please come in a hurry. The patient is stressed. Bilateral pneumothorax. What's it? This is the life of the patient. You have to sit down beside the patient, adjust the ventilator, until the patient is comfortable and you're sure that the patient is taking his breath smoothly and no problems. And after that, you can do another job. But what we want to do is just and leave the patient what for. And after that, you come to the patient's arrested.
Actually, you are in Egypt, you are lacking, for example, respiratory therapists, we are lacking trained nursing. If it's a junior resident, it's a problem.
I'm talking our community. We have no respiratory therapists. Yes. We have no. I myself, this is a patient, this is a life. I have to sit.
You are adding
down by the patient and adjust the patient. After adjustment,
what I'm asking is further, okay, whether you are adding mandatory end-tidal CO2 monitoring in pressure way of ventilating your patient or not? Thank you.
Pressure control is mandatory. And if the patient starts to take his breath, it will be okay. Okay? No problem. No problem. It's simple. And my advice, if you are expert in one mode, it will be better than a lot of modes, and you are not expert in none of them. Just know how to drive your machine. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Now we have to call Dr. Hassan. We are waiting you for 10 minutes.